I need to show you something.
Okay.
Have you heard of the slave pits?
More than I'd care to, yeah.
Leaf crosses his arms and says, "Indeed."
What does their reputation mean to you?
A festering wound in the heart of Absalom.
Their
Have you-
reputation is of small consequence to me, but I would like to know what it means to you.
You're going to see what it means to me, but what have you heard that's been going on around there lately?
That's a good question. What have I heard that's been going on around there lately?
People are just being like... They're basically in cages. They will put them literally in pits, and then at the bottom of the pit is a window, so that people can look at them and pick out whichever slave that they think fits their needs the most.
Huh.
Man or woman, halfling or human, details like that are important to the people who are buying those slaves.
Yeah.
But they've put straight out people like cattle. What else?
The problem is that in the last less than a week, perhaps 6 days, they've been doing things to these people that are worse than treating them like cattle. You at least treat your cattle with a little bit of respect. You need your cattle for meat and things like that. They've been doing things that are much, much worse. And I'm not sure who's doing it. I can only see that these people are yielding marks on their arms and legs, and you can clearly see that there's been signs of abuse, but I don't know by whom.
Interesting. Go on.
I don't have much more to say. I'll take you there and show you the evil that they've done.
Of course, but what would you have us do about this?
Stop it.
So this is the help that you require of us? Just to
Yes.
stop the slave trade of Absalom in the pits?
Yes, that is what I need to have happen, at least return it to how it was a month ago.
What are your motives in all of this? Why pay for someone to help slaves?
That's a good question.
In all honesty, I arrange the purchase of these slaves.
Interesting.
And I make coin through the people who pay me to manage and make the right choices. I have an intuitive sense of different people.
Ah, yes. Well, as a man who deals with much coin, you can understand that as much as our hearts go out to these poor slaves, we want to know how much coin is in it for us.
I don't have any idea of what I want to pay yet, so let's wager on this.
No wager.
How's... How does 50 gold fit you?
I look at Soren, because he has a better idea of how much this is worth than me.
Sounds like a decent amount. What are the terms of the bet?
This is my favorite part.
I suppose it's not as much a bet as it is payment.
I see. Very well.
Allow me to make it a bet. Double if we bring him back alive.
I do get paid well All right, fair enough.
Ah, good, good. I'm glad you see this our way. Now, we shall go and accompany you where you wish to take us.
Yes, I'll have my friend here come take us on that way.
All right. I nod over to the friend and I say, and what's your name?
My name is Saitor.
What's he look like?
He's dressed in dark, dark red clothing.
Okay.
You can
And
see
Or-
armor under his cloak. Okay, so Onor has taken you to the area that you're familiar with. Soren, you've probably actually seen this place before. Leaf, maybe not.
Yeah, probably a couple times.
You can see that some of them look the same way as they did, but others do look, as Onor described, beaten mercilessly. You can see very dark bruises that almost look like hand marks. You can see things that seem like their skin's been turned to ash somehow.
Ooh.
You can see other things with the younger ones that are too horrible to mention here. But yes, it's not very unified. It all varies.
Huh.
But you are seeing some horrible things here. There are some that don't seem to be moving. There's one where you can see that ropes have been tied to their body and they're being pulled back up, probably to be taken to a graveyard. And it seems like the people here are trying to get rid of the ones who have died, basically.
Yeah.
Nornor turns to you and says, "This is what I'm talking about."
So this is the help that you seek of us to end this?
You can certainly see why.
Yes, we can't have this.
I hold up my finger for a second at Soren and I say, but wait a minute, aren't you a slave trader yourself?
What's a slave to me if they're dead or maimed?
I say, interesting. I've not known many slave traders to share your opinions.
Some of the less... Oh, what is the word?
Business-minded.
Yes, some of the more business-minded and, in my opinion, less intelligent ones do not care for the well-being of their slaves. The problem is when you have a slave that is not well kept, it's basically useless to the people I send them to. And my reputation is harmed.
Makes sense. Now, do you have any leads as to how we could find the man who's causing this?
No, I do not. Nobody
I
does.
see.
Although... Hold on. Hold on. And then he starts, like, walking briskly in one direction along the line of just these cages of people.
Okay. What does
And-
Sato do?
He's mainly watching, and he's about 15 yards back behind Onor. He's not talking too much, but he has a clearly horrified look on his face. He seems more horrified than Onor.
Yeah. Are there like guards wandering around the pits, or is it just sort of deserted?
One in the distance,
Okay.
and then you can see two people which probably aren't guards that are pulling people out of the pits.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna keep an eye out for anyone that looks like they may have like a key to the cells or anything on them.
That would be good.
If I see a good opportunity, I'm gonna see if I can't steal it off of them.
I want to examine Sato more closely. Can I look at his hands and see whether he looks like he's a slave or something? Or was a slave? Was, whatever.
He seems to have gloves on both of his hands.
Okay. And what of his face?
He looks like a bit of a nobleman, except for one long scar on his face that's been healed
see.
for probably years. He doesn't seem like he's seen too much trouble.
Alright, then I return my attention to Onor.
I think I see something in the back of this cage. Can anybody shine a light back there?
I'm gonna walk over.
I just walk over and take a look. I don't need light to see.
You can
Sure.
see in... Since you have dark vision, you can see this in kind of a grayscale sort of vision. You can
Right.
see there's a kind of darker spot on the wall that says "They are gods" with an exclamation point. And then this is one of the people who's died.
Huh. We say darker spot. Are you talking like dark like blood, or dark like soot or something?
Probably blood.
Probably blood. Yeah. Okay. I figured, but I wanted to ask.